At the end of the last channel update video, there was a little bit of a hidden message.
A call to action in a certain way.
Yeah. The opportunity to choose my next
tattoo.
Not his, though, for some reason.
I don't have any tattoos.
Innocent baby skin, but one could fit right there.
Nope, I don't think so.
Either way, that is in part what this video is about. A more public, more direct statement that we are quickly and rapidly approaching the bar that was set, the goal that we established to choose my next tattoo.
Yeah.
And here's the cool thing. This wasn't something that I came up with a week ago or a month ago.
You started this at the very
2 years
first
ago,
day.
when Patreon was established, before we ever encouraged anyone to go there and support us, for some reason I had put at 500 backers. The mind-blowing, like, never will happen, holy cow. I'd written at the bottom of that description, offhandedly, and I'll get a new tattoo. And so now we're getting there. We have been in this new studio space for right around a month now.
Yep, yes we have.
You know, with the public update and the push and letting you all know. And over the last month, we've had so many, I suppose I call them quacks, descend upon Patreon and reach out privately and publicly to support us and tell us they like the content that we're producing here. And they not only want to see us continue producing content here, but they're also enjoying, well, I mean, specifically the Kingdom Death campaign that is being run over there on Patreon and will be coming here as well.
Making us play Pretty Princess, making us eat horrible, absolutely horrid things on camera, choosing the types of games that we're going to bring to the channel.
We're going to be updating you on a little bit of the stuff that's coming out over the next week or two. Some of the stuff we actually have in the backlog that I'm still working through processing and editing. I mean, when you sit down and you play a game of Brass Birmingham and you want to edit it appropriately, which is the voted game this last month, it takes a little bit of time to edit, something like 8 to 12 hours to produce.
Oh, whoa. So, what are you making?
No. Brass was like a 2-hour gameplay. But editing, walk right through it, adding B-roll, cutting into that B-roll, adding card
overlays.
Okay,
so it's a fancy video.
Well, we're working on making it.
It's a minimum we can give to the Patreon, really.
So, here's all I wanted to say. If you want to help design, choose, influence the next tattoo, I get that genuinely, I'm not scared of getting. It's not like, oh no, they're going to bully me into a tattoo. This would be something, however ridiculous it is, something that reminds me of this journey so far, of the support, of the love, of the last 2 years of working together, of the community we've been able to build. One that I am, as you know, everything's starting to change, the world's starting to open up over the next 6 to 8 months or so, one that I am so excited to meet. And I think it'll be ridiculous that I'll have people walk up because they'll know where and what the tattoo is.
Show me the tattoo.
Well,
Where is it?
I know there's going to be some people that just, without even asking, are just going like this, hunting for it. So here's how this will work. We're right around 80 or so supporters away from hitting that. And that doesn't mean
crazy.
That doesn't mean you're a $100 supporter like we have a few, which we are very grateful. It doesn't mean you're at 20. It doesn't mean you're at 5, even though some of the content for Kingdom Death is behind that $5 paywall. It means we just have 500. Could be at $1 a month, supporting and saying you want to invest in what we're doing here, that you get some sort of benefit from what we're doing here, and that you respect and you're just grateful for the time that it takes to put in, because we couldn't do this. We couldn't do any of this without your foundation.
100%.
So, if you wanna support, swing over there, back us for $1. And then once we cross 500, I'll be doing 2 things. First off, posting a thank you video over there on Patreon, asking for suggestions.
And then we're going to do a vlog of me following you in the tattoo shop and getting the tattoo with like a shaky cam.
So first we're going to post it asking for suggestions. Then I'm going to take every one of those suggestions and put them into a poll. Then every member of the community will get a chance to vote on that poll for what we are going to tattoo. And then, yes, we'll schedule an appointment. Do so responsibly and head in with a vlog demonstrating what happened.
Oh, this is going to be rich. I hope someone just tattoos Pretty Princess on you or something like that.
Why are you suggesting things? Why are you suggesting things?
It's your fault. You made us play it on the channel.
Yeah, it was a great gameplay. It doesn't mean... I mean, I'd rather like a green mouse or a goose or something like that. Just honk across a butt cheek. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure out what's going on.
No, well, that last one would be a little bit.
Outside of that, if you've made it to this part, let's give you a brief update on what we've been working on the channel. For those of you that are already Patreon supporters, thank you so much for being here. I know a lot of you are going to be watching this. So here's what's going on. We had a sponsored gameplay of Anachrony, of Brass. We're working on our Kingdom Death campaign, and we have a variety of other, pieces of content and coverage that we're also solidifying.
Very excited.
Brass and Anachrony, both gameplays are filmed. Both gameplays were wonderful. Anachrony, we did a public conversation about. I didn't play it once. I've been holding back on the Brass one just because I wanted the gameplay to go up before the first impressions.
Sure.
We did do a podcast episode on Brass, so if you haven't checked out the podcast, that will be probably the first piece of coverage. And we're actually working on a series of other videos. Now, my hope is, or my intention is, over the next about a week, to have those finished, edited, posted, and shared with you. So we'll be slightly beyond that month window, because we're a few days away from the month mark. But they are in the process. They are currently being worked on. On the 5th, like we do of every month, on the 5th, the next poll voting on the next game that we cover the next month will be up there.
Okay.
The only reason I can't promise they'll be done over the weekend is because I'm going to go spend the end of Passover with Board Game Co., with Alexander Sender Radcliffe III. And I'm really looking forward to that, but that'll be a time away from the computer, a time away from the phone, and a chance just to take a deep breath in, which will be nice and much needed.
Yeah, for sure.
Either way, we have Brass and Anachrony gameplays in the works. Kingdom Death, for those of you that are invested in the Kingdom Death campaign, today we'll be filming Lantern Year 5. We did find, so over on Patreon, you should be able to, I think I hope by tomorrow or Thursday at the latest, we should have all Lantern Years 1 through 4 for the Patreon over there. Meaning 5 will be kind of the next window and we'll continue producing beyond that. For the YouTube, I believe we should have the White Lion, the first full White Lion hunt, up on the YouTube again, I hope, by Wednesday or Thursday. Now, that's a much bigger ask just because of the editing and processing for a YouTube channel edit. It takes a little bit of time. But that's my intention. That's what we're aiming for. The campaign is moving along, and I think once we get past Lantern Year 10, and a little bit ahead on episodes with Jan and I working together on that, we're probably going to launch a secondary campaign-style game that we do a little bit slower. So Kingdom Death, I'm trying to do like an episode a week or so, either for Patreon and then one every 2 to 3 weeks for the main channel. I'm hoping to launch like Etherfield's Tainted Grail, one of those style games.
Probably community voted as well.
Community voted, absolutely. And doing one of those, my thought is once every 2 weeks to 3 weeks. A little bit of a slower push, but a secondary campaign that we can have running kind of alongside KDM. Because I don't think KDM... Cool. I don't think it's ever going away. I think we're going from this to expansions, to new stories, to people to stars.
There's infinite amount of content on that.
And so if we want to do multiple campaign things, we have to figure out how to do it with KDM.
Yes, exactly. It always has to be there.
Either way, that's my update video. Jen, what's going on with Qüackalope? How is everything happening there? Because that's another thing. This last month, we were able to launch your Spanish channel.
Yep.
That's been pretty exciting. We're still figuring out the works there.
Yep.
So let the people know.
So Qüackalope is moving forward at a good pace. We're trying to get into some type of schedule. The hope...
He's realizing it's harder than he knew.
The schedule, or the hope of the schedule, is going to be that we have Tuesdays and Thursdays for videos.
That's the end.
However, right now, we're probably just going to do one video a week, and it might not be exactly those time frames, but that will be the aim. We just did our first ever gameplay on Qüackalope, and we started exploring with the idea of bilingual discussions. And it was super fun.
And it was a blast. It was a blast not only to play, but also people enjoyed watching it as well, both English and non-English speakers.
Correct. So things that we're planning for the immediate future is that I want to start bringing in a few heavier titles, and I want to start involving the community into voting into what things they want to see.
Well, I think you're going to do some like straight nerd culture stuff.
Yeah.
Possibly even bridging into a wider nerd space. We're talking about video games, comic books, movies. We're not sure about that yet. It'll depend on the community.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, we have like Monster Hunter downstairs, the board game. And we thought it'd be fun to do a Spanish episode on it, even though it won't readily and immediately be available in the Spanish market for only Spanish speakers,
Yeah, we're
that
still trying to
conversation
explore.
is still valuable.
Yeah, correct. So we're still trying to explore what things we want to touch on that channel. And Kickstarter coverage, I think, will definitely be one of those things that we can just capitalize that probably no one is being able to do at the same pace that we are.
Because we get access through the main channel.
Exactly. Yep. So that's definitely something that a lot of people are going to be
Well, we just had
falling
someone
for.
reach out specifically asking. It's a game designer who has a Spanish speaking or Latina artist, and so they reached out asking for coverage on Quackalope for the game, and they want a artist interview. They want to figure out how to do an artist interview for Quackalope because that's where her predominant language is, right?
Exciting.
And so that's neat. Like, people are starting to see that there's a hybrid there that's worth pursuing. So
yeah, it's going to be super fun. We're also planning on reaching out to some new publishers. So remember when we looked at, I think it was Diablo Games or some big publisher in the Spanish market?
We have a relationship with now as well. They just reached out, and they're a Mexican-based publishing company.
So we're going to be collaborating a lot more and trying to find new connections in that space. So keep tuned.
Whatever the case, we are super excited. Thank you so much for the support over the last month and the continued support over the last few years. We're not going anywhere. I am stubborn as a mule and excited and grateful as heck that you all are here and part of this community. And with that, quack.